Oh, for a huge variety of reasons. Starting from helping people to express themselves and learn to express themselves. A lot of the people who come to workshops, they're doing photography for fun, and they need that release. They need that outlet. And it's really a very rewarding experience to be able to not only help them to improve their craft, but also to get them to advance themselves in terms of how they can express themselves in this in this nonverbal language that is art. And that once they start, the little lights start going off when they've heard a seminar or we've gone through something out in the field and they produce a photograph that really speaks to them. It's fun to watch that, to see that process and just how excited they get. And so I think that workshops are fantastic for that because it's very difficult to have that kind of interaction and that kind of synergy if you're not there together in person. But also, I think workshops are very important because um, these days, a lot of people are getting very interested in the outdoors and in photography, and they don't have much education on how their own actions can actually be detrimental to the places that they are so enamored of. And just by walking in the wrong way in places and by doing certain things that maybe they would just not think is a bad idea, like breaking off branches to take a picture or something like that, they're actually damaging the environment and making things, they might be making walking on flowers that will never grow again, or putting a tent on flowers, or those sorts of things, walking on things that are going to show those footprints for 2 years. And so when people go out in a workshop context, the leader is going to be very aware of all of these things. And I personally do a big orientation talk on leave no trace principles and on the sorts of environments that we'll be visiting and how, in what ways they might possibly be better preserved by us being careful in certain ways. And then I do also a little group huddle at the beginning of any new type of environment. So, for example, in my Death Valley workshops, we always are going to environments that are quite different from one to the next, unlike something like in the Dolomites, where there's a lot of similarities, different mountain peaks, different fields of flowers, different little running streams, but it's basically a mountain environment. Whereas in Death Valley, you have salt flats, you have badlands, you have sand dunes, you have volcanic areas, all these different areas, and each one of them brings with it different challenges for preserving those areas, which can be done. And I won't take people to a place where I feel like it can't be done, of course, but it's just a matter of awareness. And so workshops, I think, are really important for spreading that kind of awareness.